Take that road that you don't know where it goes.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Yeah.
And see where it gets you.
You know, like it just, everything worked. Like when you have a bit of faith and adventure in your heart, you know?
Yeah. Mother Nature is all good.
This is our kitchen. Dane built these doors to keep it fly-proof when it gets really bad here. You know, here's our peat kvass. This is the kombucha, all ready to be bottled. And this is really good. I should let you try it. Beautiful one, yeah. Oh yeah, the color.
Okay, so
yeah,
this is the mother, and she's a happy camper. You can tell by the slight frothing at the top. So it's bubbling away. It's happy. It's eating its food, which is exactly what you just looked at over there, which is just the bulk tea and sugar, organic sugar mix. And so this is pretty much ready to be bottled. It's been fermenting,
ready to be double fermented.
How long has this one been going, babe? About 10 days or?
22nd of January.
When you say double fermented, you mean like fermenting in the bottle, or?
Yeah. So this is the first ferment, and then I put it in a bottle with the flavoring, and then it bottles for another week or so, and that's the double ferment, which gives it that nice flavor, and then it gets its carbonation. So that's how.
And then the bottle ferment, is that in
the little bottles?
But is it in a refrigerated environment or open air?
No, it's got a whole another week in the bottle. Yeah. So it's got a minimum of a week at the first ferment, minimum of a week at the second ferment, and then it goes into cold storage, which it still continues to ferment in that stage.
And often our bottles have little scobies in them.
Yeah. How long can they last in the when they're chilled? I guess before they turn to vinegar.
Months. Probably a month or so.
I've got a bottle over there by the fridge that didn't even make it into the fridge, and it's a month old. And I tried it today, and it's delicious.
It just becomes more and more carbonated, where it gets kind of like, It
didn't turn to vinegar, though. The first stage is the vinegar stage. So if you blow it on the first ferment,
you let it go too long,
then that's when your kombucha turns to vinegar.
Yeah,
so that's how you make kombucha vinegar. You're never really going to get the vinegariness as long as you get that first one and you don't leave it too long. It's all about trying it. You got to test it.
Yeah.
Okay, how long has it been? Oh, it's been 6 days. All right, well, we better try a bit of it,
Let's see if I can find it. This is my wild ginger bug. I've just put it in the fridge because I've made enough out of it. Holy. That smells good. So all I do is take it out, feed it, and leave it, and it's gonna go.
So you're feeding it with sugar?
Ginger, sugar, and water. That's it. A newest creation. This is berry kvass. It's made with, it's fermenting. So that's just organic strawberries. It's gonna be so good. I can just tell.
Yeah, ooh, that's delicious.
That's gonna be the kids' pop. That's going to be a pop for kids. You smell that? I have to... We're out in the elements, we're not indoors, so you have to do weird things like this. This has been my newest love, has been fermenting vegetables. Whenever we have some friends in Todos who are really linked with organic farmers, and they have abundances of strawberries, and then they got abundances of beans, and what do you do with all that stuff? So, in the old days, we used to eat a lot of pickled cucumbers, and with vinegar, and it just doesn't appeal to my palate anymore now that I'm so into fermented foods. So now these are the ones we put in our Caesars and our drinks on pizza night. So everybody gets some beans and some. I wish I'm gonna let you guys test one. Oh boy, look at it foam. Okay, so that's really active. It's actually gonna. Cleaning. In Mexico, even organic, I always clean the vegetables really well with Bonners and baking soda, just in case there's any glyphosate, residues. It's really important that our vegetables start really well. That's probably the key to fermenting, is having a good product at the beginning. If you have a bad vegetable that's full of glyphosate or getting old already, you don't want to ferment them. You want nice, good, And sometimes I'll put them in ice water first. One of these full of nice water, and that's about 4 cups for 4 teaspoons of sea salt. And that makes your brine, and you just pour it in there with the flavors you like. If you like garlic, if you like dill, have a pickling spice, you know, whatever you want. You put that in your jar, and then you just pour it and seal it. And then you just got to make sure you burp it every day or every other day.
So you don't use like a cheesecloth or anything, you just burp it every day?
I just seal them and try to burp them.
But you could use a cheesecloth or something like that if you wanted.
I don't think so. Not with the vegetables. They need to be sealed.
And why do they need to be sealed? Just because the bacteria is going to get in there? Or?
It's a good question. I can't remember.
It seems like it works better.
It works better.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth. Even my sourdough starter, I used to always have cheesecloth over. But we're not indoors, so I'm fighting fruit flies. I got to keep the bugs out of everything. So for me, sealed is way better.
Yep. That's our immunity blend there.
Homemade Worcestershire and beet kvass. And there's a nice, beautiful one.
That's a nice beet kvass. Grab that. You show that.
Beet kvass, particular, is from Russian origins. They sort of say it's a folklore about healing sort of every sort of ailment and cancer and all sorts of things. They generally have it. Every Russian has this on their counter. And they take shots with their meals. They put it in their salad dressings. You put it in your soups. We put it in our drink. So we drink a lot of this, and then with our business.
It's fermented beets?
It's beets, yeah, fermented in a brine for about 5 to 10 days. Just sits out and it gets a beautiful purple color, and it's just so delicious and earthy. Tomorrow I'm trying to capture the yeast from the desert. So I take ginger, I take a little bit of organic sugar and water, and I mix it up, and I put it in a sort of a cheesecloth over top so it can capture all the good bacteria from the air. And I do that for about 5, 6, 7 days, continually feeding it every day. And it just starts getting foamy, and it just it actually exploded through 3 containers.
There we go. Hold on. Quick test. 1, 2, 3.
Let's get cooler.
The hair cooler. What I do is I bring all the coals from the back, and I bring them back to warm the whole ground, the whole surface, the whole floor, because now the floor has gotten a bit cooler too. It's made mostly of glass, which is really cool, and so basically that's what conducts the heat, and it keeps the heat. So just by doing this, bringing it back out, force it.
Add more wood, or?
I mean, it's debatable at that point. Probably.
You could just add a tiny bit.
I'm gonna be safe and add a bit more. I think, just because if it doesn't have
this is gonna take a long time.
If it doesn't have the right temperature, then you're not gonna get the right results. Sometimes you get what you need.
That's all you need. Yeah.
We just need another little hit of heat.
That'll do it. That's enough.
Yeah, I think so too. Probably a way to do that without losing my eyebrows, but I haven't figured it out yet.
Well, luckily you got lots of eyebrows.
Anyways, did you tell him that the starter was from a monastery and it's like a couple hundred years old?
No.
Nice.
It's from this ancient monastery.
Estimated 200 to 300 years.
200 to 300 years old
from
starter.
From monastery on Salt Spring Island.
If it's burning like that, it'll mess up the bread.
Yeah, it'll be too hot.
Yeah, you can't have an open flame with bread.
It wasn't quite hot enough. Like, he put his hand in, it was like 5 seconds, and he could still kept it there.
Yeah, it instantly gets cold, eh?
Yeah.
Don't cut into your bread for at least 20 minutes. After 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's still cooking even right
still
now.
Cooking
it's so
right
hot.
now.
It's like a curing process of it.
It's so hard to wait.
Air,
so hard to wait, but you can hear
worth
it crackling.
it. You can almost put a timer on.
I bet you can hear
15 minutes. Yeah. It's
loud it's gonna be.
Sounds nice. Yeah.
Crackling.
Key. Gotta check. Need that put in too. Or did you already get the put in?
The door handle is loud it's gonna be, but
I can hear it.
Oh, I heard it.
Right? 1, 2, 3, bread ready.
Nice.
1, pizza.
Yeah.
I definitely started with the bread because I was gluten intolerant for probably 10 years. Just started doing lots of research on my sort of health journey and discovered the sort of art of fermentation and learned how to make yummy bread. And then I was trying it out on family and other gluten intolerant folks, and then it just sort of like kind of went like wildfire. And then, you know, with the wood-fired method, it just makes the bread even that much better. So I can say that it's pretty much been the foundation of our business has been the bread and the yogurt fermented cinnamon buns. So we started that, going every week into town and selling it. And then we always had this dream that people would just come here. We wouldn't have to leave the ranch, because as soon as we're in town, we want to be back at the ranch. You know, we always love it here. So now it's sort of, this year it's really sort of taken off. Or we've mostly been just catering it with the pizza nights and salad bars and the ferments. We do a lot of ferments too, which I can show you a little later, but really big into fermentation. It's kind of the backbone of our health, our good health, and our business.
So did you hire some local people to help you with this, or?
Yeah, so basically how it went down was I had a local family in the Pueblo, and it was 3 brothers, and one brother in particular, he really helped me out a lot around here. I hired him for about 6 months, and we worked together like 6 days a week out here. So a lot of the concrete work.
What about this whole structure thing? Because I see these all over the place around here. Did he help you design and build this thing? The roof structure?
Yeah. So that's like a stylish kind of umbrella, palapa roof technique, and yeah, it was really cool to see that, because really the pressure of all of the rafters resting on that middle piece is what's keeping the roof up. But it doesn't mean that this post has to come all the way down and be in your face. So we did a cool thing where we literally just propped this up with like a smaller post just to have it in place. And then once you get those rafters fastened onto that, it's all solid up top, and it's all the gravity of the down pressure going into that. You pull that thing right out, and it all stays after. It was really cool. It was magical. To a point where I got a picture of my worker, and he was up on the very top, and he's like, yeah, before we had any of the palms. It's nailed here and here.
Oh, I see.
And then it goes down. So it's got 2 nails in every single palm.
And then they just go up.
And then,
all the way.
The coolest thing about pineapples is that you literally take the top of your pineapple that you ate, and instead of throwing it in the compost, you put it in the ground. And look at this. This is like a year old, this pineapple. And
that was just a top.
It was just the top of a pineapple. You cut the top of a pineapple, and you leave that much flesh, just like a ½ inch of flesh, and you plug that into the ground, and this is what you get in a year. It's amazing. And this is going to grow me a couple beautiful pineapples. Little pomegranate. One little seed coming in at the base here. This is just a little baby pomegranate. The pomegranates are beautiful. They're drought resistant. Another papaya, and at the base here I have a lemon coming up. You know, it's all about just stacking the species together in a food forest type scenario where they can the higher ones will protect the lower ones, and the canopy, just like a jungle. We're recreating nature here. Total pollinator attractant. The hummingbirds come here.
Is it Palo Arco medicinal as well?
Oh, it's got so many different things going for it. This gets used so much in construction around here locally. This is cool because this is a currant tree. I'm pretty sure in English we call it, but the Mexicans call it a Mexican grape tree, and it literally grows up to this big, beautiful tree, and it has bunches of grapes. These are moringas.
You guys are doing moringa. That's so rad.
Yeah, so these are moringas, and they just grow like a boss out here. Like, I can't even believe how beautiful and quick these moringas grow out here. It's just mind-blowing. Oh, the whole plant is edible. Every part of the plant. Look at this. This is just the leaf. Yep. Edible. Delicious. You can put it in flour. Edible. And then the beans and the seeds inside of them. This is like the tree of life, man, this thing. Those are little cherry tomatoes from here.
I already gave her.
She's got a passion fruit.
I already gave her both.
Oh, cool. These are the passion fruits. And that's the vine all up here. So this whole shaded area is all passion fruit.
That's only the one we have to fix, is that, because the hurricane really did a number on that.
These are them all here. These are all passion fruits coming, and it provides a little bit of nourishment and a ton of vitamin C, as well as some shade, well, much needed shade. This is a guanabana here, and so I'm trying to do a thing where I work my way terracing up our hill, and I add one species close-ish to another, so it feels like it's got a friend not too far off into the mix. And hibiscus flowers. So this is the papaya next to the lime right here, which is gonna provide some fruit for us soon. Coming into the hibiscus, they're trying to put out some buds. And then I'm doing the same thing with the bananas, which is all down here. All of this is being terraced and catching the water as it falls down the hill in a kind of swale type style. So as it rains here in the path, the water falls in the path and it goes up into the bananas. It's the same deal as a swale. It's the exact same on contour. So I've also got pomegranates in the mix. There's a little pomegranate there. I have a little baby pomegranate starting here. This is a pineapple. They came from compost gigs that we had where we went and we collected all the green waste and saved it from going to the dump from all these places down by the beach. There's you know, gringo mansion after gringo mansion, and they all have these, you know, immaculate nice gardens. They're beautiful, but they gotta have them looking tiddly-boo, and so there's constant pruning, constant cleaning, constant everything, and they have these stacks upon stacks of green waste, and it all goes, I don't want to say all, because luckily we've taken quite a bit, but a lot of it goes to the dump. And I planted this guy when it was just tiny, and so it's taken 3 years. They don't grow that quick, but it's gotten a lot bigger than it was. Cactus fruit out here is edible, and they're actually really nutrient dense and full of vitamin C. So this is a completely edible cactus here. And it's full of probiotics. That's one of the coolest things about it. This is like a desert cactus kind of skeleton hardwood privacy fence that I built. It kind of functions as a border / back wall from people driving up. This is another example of just a very, very standard, you know, basic freebie landscaping, I kind of call it. Yeah. All of these plants, all free. Rescues.
Well, from the ranch.
Yeah,
too.
Some of them are from the ranch, some of them are from the compost program. They're all just little rescues, and they're happy as clams. This is an example of a garden that basically needs like no water, and it'll just grow and grow and grow. So when you're in a spot in the desert when water is kind of an issue, it makes sense to just grow the local native species. This is our little water tower set up that feeds down into our sink here. It's pretty Mexican ranchero style, very básico, rustico, but it's functional. So basically, very simple system. It comes out of the water tank. It shoots down to a hose down here, which feeds gardening water, and then this comes down straight down into the sink, which we do whatever dishes or anything that we need to do. The water then from here, so this sink, it comes into just a very basic bucket. Yeah. And from that bucket, I know which plants are thirsty, which ones got a little bit more that day, which ones are maybe in a bit of a sunnier locations, this, that, and the other. And then the final one shoots off into here, which is our little outdoor shower.
For a second to say that we've gone more basic than we were. We had this whole thing plumbed in, so the gray water went out and it went to trees. We never had to deal with buckets. It just was all plumbed in, but we went back a step because we prefer this method, knowing where the water goes, collecting the water, putting it where it needs, rather than one plant getting too much.
That first water tank that you passed, that feeds our campsites. This is the newest tank we got. It was about 6 or 8 months ago we got this one, and it was like 25,000 pesos, which a little over $1,000. That translates over to about $1,200 or something. It holds enough water for at least a month. Everything has to have at least 2 functions, so this has become a composting toilet as well as our kind of power shack. So basic setup. We have here we have our inverter, 3,000 watt. That's more than enough power to run all my power tools, charge all my drill batteries, run all Sabrina's kitchen appliances, whatever we want, we can run with that. Then I have a kind of system where I have 2 charge controllers that are fed from the 2 panels on the roof.
So each panel has 1 charge controller?
Yeah. Generally, it isn't the classic way you do it. You'd usually have a high enough amperage from your charge controller that you wouldn't need to, but it just ended up being like this. I don't know. They're 330 watt panels, so I'm getting full amperage out of every single panel, and then that come down into my 6-volt batteries, which they have 208 amp hours, which is like tons. It runs our fridges all night long, all the lighting we'd ever need. People are so scared about solar, and they think, oh, it costs so much money and this, that, and the other, but really it's so simple, and you don't need a lot to have a lot. That first.
Yellowfinches are the biggest species we have right now. Probably 200 to 400 birds all in these trees waiting for us in the morning to fill their water. And then they come and have like a pool party. They sit in there and they get all fluffy and then the bees. And somehow the birds and the bees have they've made some agreement. So the birds have given the bees these 2. They don't bath in it. So these 2 are for bees, and then the bees don't touch the other 3, and they let the birds have the other 3.
This is our composting toilet set up here. It's a pretty straightforward system, bombs as well as a wind block, and all just local materials.
And then when you're doing your business, you got this view over here.
Well, yeah, you gotta come on in to see that real view, my friend. Why don't you get on in there? Because it's definitely the ocean view shitter without sounding vulgar. So imagine you're sitting doing your thing, and you got a decent little view there.
So are you guys doing human manure?
Yeah, so we do human manure here, and we've been doing that for like 5+ years, and to be honest, it boggles my mind that the rest of the world doesn't do something so simple and so meaningful. You know, it's what a waste. I can't believe our modern so-called technology.
Soil you're using?
Very, very basic sort of mix that we have there. So this falls under this philosophy of our very simple, basic instructions. We got to keep the pile dried. It needs to compost properly and not attract flies. So, you know, it's really not rocket science. Do that, you just fully cover your business with this nice little blend we provided for you, and it's all topsoil mixed with leaves, and you know, it's all about having a little bit of kind of greenish leafy material mixed with the soil. The beautiful of this system that we have here is the fact that it's a dual chamber composting toilet. So what that means, we have one side that is ready for use. We use it, we service it properly. There's the maintenance that it needs to have. Once this side is full, the other side's empty. We put this side to bed. This side is no longer in use. For one whole year, this side sits and composts. The other side is completely empty, and that has the next year to fill. So it's a yearly switch over, and from that we have basically an endless supply of beautiful human manure. When it's properly composted, it's this rich, black, beautiful soil. These are my two back panels for the dual chamber composting toilet, and it's very simple. Basically, whenever this side needs to be emptied, I just pop the door open, empty her out, put the waste wherever it needs to be.
So the door is just screwed on there or something, or?
Yeah, I have latches at the top here that you can't see. And then I just kind of flip it open, and it really is a very user-friendly system where it's not at all complicated.
Right.
And,
so you're just shoveling it out.
Exactly.
After a year of composting, you shovel it out and put it in the garden.
Shovel it out, pop her on wherever the desired location is. Sometimes I'll even leave it for another year. You know.
Right.
We got cows down yonder, donkeys, dogs have found. Excuse the barking.
I can hear the barking.
We definitely started. We got down here, and the garbage dump, which you could see from here, would be going on fire. It would be a hill, and we would see it blazing on fire. And then all the Facebook groups would be talking about the air quality would be really, really bad down at Pedrito Beach and Cerritos. And you know, I joined a group. It was all about trying to, like, the Zero Waste Alliance, which is down here. And I joined that group. We all talked, and everybody was like, "Whoa, what are we going to do? We need that green waste needs to be composted, but they're not doing it at the dump." And I just volunteered our land. I said, well, we have land, we can take the stuff. And then the word kind of spread, and then we started telling the people about it. And we've just been composting, making layers and layers and layers, and hugelkultur beds and everything. All these aloes came from someone's garbage. I haven't seen the dump fire much. Once this year, actually.
Plumeria's in here as well.
Oh yeah.
So I put there's a plumeria in with every aloe, all of which were thrown out. There's one man's trash, right? And all the aloes right now are starting to flower, and these are going to be so beautiful. They shoot off like these gorgeous poker self to a point of like implosion and anxiety because you're not saving the world.
Totally.
You're totally right, man. What do we need to be happy? What do we really need to be happy and successful? What is real success?
You're living your life and you're enjoying, you know, I mean, being out here, it's so different than being down in that little town. You know, it's all hustle and even, you know, you think you're in Baja, you think it's like, oh, but it's the same. It's all city hustle bustle down in there, but
no. Unfortunately, the Baja Sur a lot of it has really become Americanized, you know, and that really takes away from the charm of it all. Take that road that you don't know where it goes. Just take it. And see where it gets you.
You know, like just everything worked. Like when you have a bit of faith and adventure in your heart, you know?
Yeah, Mother Nature is all good.
Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you or anyone you know has an amazing project that you think should be featured, you'd like to have me feature them on one of my videos, you can contact me through the About page on the Regenerative Homestead channel. I do a select number every year, not too many, just a few. Also, I do mentoring for people who are committed to a regenerative lifestyle with their business or their life or their project. So you can reach me also for a free consultation about that through the About page. And then lastly, if you're anything like me, I've struggled my whole life trying to live a regenerative life while at the same time enjoying life. So that's why I'm in the process of writing the Happy Earthling, and which will be out soon. So you can find out more about that on the About page on the YouTube channel. And thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.